In the pale early morning light, a lone Crow scout climbed the rolling hills of the Great Plains, scanning the horizon for his horses. As he reached the crest, what he saw froze him in place. A vast formation of warriors and horses, stretching as far as the eye could see. Before him stood the combined might of the Sioux, Cheyenne, and Arapaho, gathered in silence, their lines ready to descend upon the unsuspecting Crow camp below. The air was thick with tension, the anticipation of impending conflict palpable in every breath. The Crow scout didn't hesitate. He turned and sprinted back to warn his people. His urgent message spurred the Crow into action. They quickly dispatched their most skilled warriors to intercept the approaching enemy, hoping to buy enough time to fortify their defenses. This was not just a raid, but a clash born of deeply rooted tensions between these plains tribes, each with its own cultural identity, land, and survival at stake. As the Crow warriors stood their ground against an overwhelming force, they knew that the future of their people depended on their courage and strategy that day. For the indigenous tribes of the Great Plains, warfare was deeply interwoven with culture, social hierarchy, and identity. Fighting wasn't only about territorial dominance. It was about proving valor, resilience, and maintaining the honor of one's people. Practices like counting coup, a way to demonstrate bravery without necessarily killing an enemy, were paramount. Warriors gained respect by touching an opponent in battle, showing they could face danger without resorting to lethal force. This was not only a demonstration of courage, but also a testament to a warrior's agility, skill, and self-control. In this context, raiding each other's camps and challenging territorial claims were common, especially as a means for young warriors to rise in status. However, by the late 1850s, these encounters had grown far more intense. The westward expansion of settlers and the U.S. government's push to relocate tribes from the eastern territories had created a ripple effect across the plains. With the Sioux and Cheyenne now encroaching deeper into Crow territory, tension mounted, and each skirmish became more than just a traditional raid. It became a fight for survival, for land, and for the future. The roots of the Battle of Pryor Creek trace back to a summer skirmish in 1859. During a raid, a Crow war party had killed a young Dakota Sioux warrior who had recently earned the right to wear an eagle-feathered war bonnet, a highly regarded symbol of bravery and distinction. His mother, devastated by her loss, began a daily ritual of leading her son's horse through their village, a silent yet powerful appeal for retribution. Among the Sioux, the death of a warrior, especially one honored with an eagle-feathered bonnet, called for a response, as the spirits of the fallen were believed to rest unsettled until avenged. However, a year passed with no warriors taking up her cause. This changed when a young man named Brave Wolf, heartbroken after his family refused his wish to marry the woman he loved, chose to join a warrior society with the vow to fight to the death. When the grieving mother approached again, Brave Wolf seized her son's horse, a symbolic act that not only honored her grief, but also solidified his own resolve as a warrior. This bold gesture galvanized the entire Dakota Sioux community. The chief declared that the responsibility of avenging the young warrior was now a matter of tribal honor and unity, transforming a personal quest into a collective mission. With vengeance declared, emissaries were sent to rally the Cheyenne and Arapaho. The Dakota Sioux spoke of a joint campaign to push back the Crow, whose strategic position in the Bighorn Mountains offered both shelter and abundant resources. By the following spring, the war camp had grown into a formidable alliance. Along the banks of Big Goose Creek and Little Goose Creek in present-day Wyoming, thousands of warriors from the Sioux, Cheyenne, and Arapaho gathered. This was the first time all Sioux bands had united for a single campaign against a common enemy, with estimates ranging from 8,000 to 10,000 warriors ready to fight. Among the warriors were tribal elders, respected medicine men, and even families who traveled to bear witness to what they believed would be the decisive defeat of the Crow. In the evenings, they sang war songs and recounted stories of past victories, instilling courage in the young fighters. Chiefs proclaimed that by nightfall of the impending battle, the Crow would be annihilated, their survivors assimilated into Dakota society. Meanwhile, the Crow had learned of the advancing forces through Nighthorse, an Arapaho chief with Crow ancestry. Opposing the planned destruction of the Crow, he sent his 2 half-Crow sons to deliver a warning to the Crow encampment at Rotten Grass Creek. Upon receiving this intelligence, the Crow broke camp and retreated westward, hoping to escape the impending clash. But as they encamped near Pryor Creek, scouts spotted the advancing enemy. Crow warriors, known for their adaptability and resourcefulness, prepared to defend themselves against overwhelming odds. They fashioned a makeshift fortress using teepee poles and animal hides, creating a fortified line to hold off the first wave of attacks. Utilizing their intimate knowledge of the terrain, they positioned their best warriors at key choke points along the hillside, disrupting the enemy's formation and slowing their momentum. The Crow's strategic placement allowed them to maximize the defensive advantage provided by the natural landscape. As the coalition of Sioux, Cheyenne, and Arapaho forces charged across the creek, the Crow warriors fired from their defensive positions with their bows and newly acquired firearms, causing significant casualties and stalling the initial assault. The defenders' coordinated use of both traditional and modern weaponry showcased their tactical ingenuity and ability to adapt to changing warfare dynamics. During a brief lull in the battle, a Crow warrior, realizing the need to demoralize the advancing forces, attempted a clever bluff. Using sign language, he signaled to the enemy scouts that reinforcements were en route. Coincidentally, a herd of elk, disturbed by the battle's noise, stirred up a dust cloud on the horizon. Sioux scouts, mistaking this for the arrival of fresh Crow warriors, reported the sight to their leaders. Shortly afterward, another cloud of dust appeared from a stampede of buffalo, reinforcing the illusion of additional Crow forces. The Sioux, desperate to break through before these perceived reinforcements could arrive, launched a second, fiercer charge. Understanding the psychological impact of perceived reinforcements, the Crow's deceptive tactics sowed doubt and fear among the enemy ranks. This strategic use of misinformation was pivotal in reducing enemy morale and hesitation, ultimately contributing to the Crow's ability to hold their ground despite being outnumbered. Despite the unrelenting pressure, the Crow warriors held their lines, inflicting heavy losses on the coalition forces. At the height of the battle, a lone Crow warrior, armed with a 2-pronged spear crafted from elk antler, leapt into the fray. Charging directly into enemy ranks, he fearlessly speared Sioux warriors while dodging incoming fire. His audacious actions inspired the other Crow fighters, who launched a spirited counterattack, throwing the Sioux, Cheyenne, and Arapaho forces into disarray. The sight of the Crow's resilience and strategic acumen, coupled with the fear of impending reinforcements, drove the coalition forces into retreat. The Crows' victory at Pryor Creek was a powerful statement of their strength and their unyielding determination to protect their people and land. Against all odds, they had managed to repel an alliance vastly superior in numbers, proving that skill, courage, and strategy could indeed overcome sheer force. The significance of the Battle of Pryor Creek extends beyond the tactical victory. For the Crow, this triumph symbolized the resilience of their cultural heritage and the indomitable spirit of their warriors. The battle became a legend among the Plains tribes, told and retold as a testament to the Crow's bravery and tactical skill. Even the Sioux, who were respected as powerful fighters themselves, could not overlook the resourcefulness and tenacity that the Crow demonstrated. This confrontation also underscored the complex dynamics between the Plains tribes and their shifting alliances in response to external pressures. The battle highlighted how even amid intense rivalry, figures like Nighthorse could prioritize ethical values over tribal alliances, choosing to warn the Crow of impending danger. In a rapidly changing world where indigenous peoples were facing increasing threats to their way of life, this battle illustrated the strength and adaptability needed to survive. The Crow victory at Pryor Creek left an enduring legacy, reinforcing their identity and commitment to protecting their land. This story serves as a reminder of the power of resilience and strategy, showing how determination and solidarity can enable a people to stand against overwhelming odds. Today, the memory of the Crows stand at Pryor Creek continues to inspire pride and respect, honoring their place in the history of the Plains. The Battle of Pryor Creek is a monumental chapter in the history of the Great Plains, showcasing the Crow Nation's strategic brilliance and unwavering courage in the face of overwhelming opposition. By delving into the cultural and tactical intricacies of the battle, we gain a deeper understanding of how the Crow Nation not only defended their land, but also preserved their legacy against formidable adversaries. This narrative stands as a testament to the enduring strength and ingenuity of the Crow people, reminding us that even in the direst circumstances, strategic thinking and unbreakable spirit can lead to extraordinary victories. Thank you for exploring this chapter of history with us. If you found this story insightful, please consider subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us continue bringing stories of resilience, culture, and courage to light.